Hey guys, Josh here, and we're going to be talking about the new iPhone today. I'm going to be reading and talking about the article on cnet.com, which is an awesome resource, by the way. So, this article is called Apple's Cheaper and Not So Cheap iPhone Explained. This article was written by Josh Lawson. That is not me. You know my name is Josh. Alright, so let's get started. For all its talk of doubling down on security, Apple's efforts to keep the upcoming iPhones under wraps seems all for naught. As well as you guys know, that the iPhone, I believe it was the iPhone 4, the iPhone 4 was left at a bar and was found by I think it was Gizmodo, or they sent it to Gizmodo to get looked at. That's why the iPhone 4 got leaked. I remember the iPhone 5 got leaked because a company in Japan, you would like ship them your iPhone 4 and they would mod it into an iPhone 5 and ship it back to you, which that service was very interesting. But let's get into some of the topics here on the new iPhone 5. Let's see, the first question is, what is Apple expecting to announce? Well, when are they going to come out with it? Two new iPhones, both lower custom model and new top of the line model. Those devices are said to be debuting at an event on September 10th, presumably in San Francisco or at the company's headquarters, where past unveilings have taken place. Now, let's go into the difference between the low cost and high cost. The low cost one, the model is rumored to be called the iPhone 5C instead of the 5S, which will sport a plastic back instead of the metal pipe. So the plastic back, I think, is perfectly fine, so I'm probably going to get that one. They also suggested that it might carve out the features or name or two, namely Siri, Apple's built-in voice assistant software. However, the key difference will be price, not so much what people pay with the multi-year contracts and their carriers, but what the phone costs up front. We get into a bit more later on. Another thing that was brought up was, what's different about the high-end model? Leaks suggest, so this is not 100% accurate, this is what Apple's kind of let go a little bit, that it's going to be called the iPhone 5S, which of course the second edition of every iPhone is called that, and come in more colors, notably gold or champagne color seems to be the item of choice right now. The device is also said to sport better camera with dual LED flash and home button that you can scans your finger, which I don't think we necessarily need, but it will help with security features. So like, oh, you need to scan my thumb to get into my phone. Who needs a lock? But I don't think we all really need that, do we? So that's basically what's going to be the difference between the iPhone 5C and the iPhone 5S. But wait, didn't Apple already make plastic iPhones? Yeah, the iPhone 3G and the iPhone 3GS came in white and black plastic, which, well, I can see why Apple's going to go back to that with the cheaper versions, is because we all know plastic doesn't break as easy as the iPhone 4 and iPhone 4S, which had the glass backing on them in the iPhone 5, which I think is a better choice instead of getting the iPhone 5S, because it won't break as easily. And where's proof of either of these devices that I can look at? Well, right now there are leaked photos of everything out on the internet, basically of that. And I'm looking right here, pictures on CNET of the iPhone 5C casing, and it looks a lot like the iPhone or the iPod Touch, the new generation iPod Touch, to be honest with you. The only noticeable difference is, again, it's longer. The new iPhone will have 250 gigabytes built in. You have a 64-bit processor, which could or could not speed things up. It always depends. But 120 gigabytes of storage, who really uses that much storage on a phone? Unless this phone is dubbed to do more than just make phone calls, play games, listen to music. Which I think they should really integrate more stuff into phone, like maybe put RAM like an Android does, and so you'll be able to do computing power and run Adobe products. Why would Apple want to launch the second iPhone now? Because as all of you can recall, the iPhone 5 kind of released not too long ago. Well, what I personally think is that Apple's trying to keep up with the Droid race, because right now the Galaxy is just kicking butt, and they're massively destroying Apple. Like, I personally have a Galaxy S3, and I love that phone. I have no problems with it whatsoever. It's just that I broke it. It's because I dropped it a few thousand times, and the screen finally cracked. Let's see what CNET says. A simple reason? Competition. Like, I agreed. Lots of Apple is getting hit on multiple fronts by rivals releasing of their phones, often several times a year. One of the biggest is Samsung, there you guys go, which expanded its Galaxy line from phones to tablets and even smartphone camera hybrids. Now that's another thing for another time, and I'm really excited to talk about that. The crossway tablet and a phone turned out to be a success, so really they're taking off, but stay tuned because that's for another time. The result in Apple's growth in smartphones market has been slowing, which basically points out Apple is slowly digressing in the technology world. So, and here's a little interesting tidbit. What do iPhones cost right now? In the US, you can get an iPhone 5 for $200, upwards of $400 with a 2-year contract from a wireless carrier. The contract-free prices for those devices are considered higher. So like, this is how much it is to buy standalone. It can go anywhere from $700 to $1,000, which is, I think, it's personally crazy. The 4S 2011 runs $100 to $500. So that's how much the new iPhone would cost for the iPhone 5 and iPhone 4, considerably cheaper. And again, prices can vary due to country. Just a little interesting here. So that's basically it. There's more on the article. If you want to read more, go ahead. CNET.com is one of the headlining articles. There you have it.